Have you ever wondered how your GPS just knows the fastest route? Or how social media can suggest someone you might know? Well, the answer is this kind of hidden language that powers our whole digital world: graph algorithms. It sounds super complex, I know, but you're about to see how one simple idea organizes pretty much everything. So let's dive in. All right, let's start with a little puzzle. Think about your social network, right? Then think about a map of every single airline flight in the sky. And then think about the internet itself. What could they possibly have in common? On the surface, they're totally different, but it turns out they all share the exact same hidden structure. And the answer is they're all networks. And in the world of computer science and math, we have this really elegant way to think about networks called a graph. And this simple concept, really just dots and lines, is the key to unlocking and solving some of the most complicated problems you can imagine. Okay, so let's connect this idea to the real world. Because honestly, once you learn to see graphs, you are going to start noticing them absolutely everywhere. Just think about your GPS, right? Every intersection is a dot. We call that a vertex. And every road is a line connecting those dots. We call that an edge. Same thing for an airline. Cities are the vertices and the flights are the edges. The cool part is that the cost of an edge could be anything. It could be driving time, the flight distance, or for a computer network, the speed of a data link. It's just an incredibly flexible way to model the world. So now that we kind of get why graphs are so important, let's break down the what. What are the actual building blocks here? At its heart, a graph is just this. It's a collection of vertices, the dots, and a collection of edges, the lines that connect them. That's it. Seriously, all the insane complexity we see in these massive networks, it all just boils down to those two simple things: dots and lines. Now, graphs basically come in two main flavors. You've got an undirected graph, where an edge is like a two-way street. If you can get from A to B, you can get from B to A. A Facebook friendship is a perfect example. But in a directed graph, the edges are one-way streets. Think about it like Twitter, right? You can follow someone, but that doesn't automatically mean they follow you back. The connection only goes one way. Okay, so we've got our map, our graph. Now, how do we actually explore it? How does a computer systematically go through and visit every single point in the network without getting lost? Well, we've got two main strategies. The first is breadth first search, or BFS. I want you to picture dropping a stone in a pond. It explores the immediate neighbors first, then their neighbors, spreading out in these perfect layers. It's amazing for finding the shortest path if all the roads have, say, the same length. Then you have depth first search, or DFS, which is totally different. This is like trying to solve a maze. It picks one path and just goes as deep as it possibly can until it hits a dead end. Then it backtracks and tries another path. All right, let's build on that. We can go from just exploring a graph to solving a massive real-world problem, like how do you build the most efficient network you possibly can? So imagine you're a telecom company. You need to connect all of these towns with a fiber optic network, but that cable is crazy expensive. Your job is to connect everyone, but you have to use the absolute minimum amount of cable to do it. So, how do you even begin to figure out which connections you should build? This is where a brilliantly simple idea called Prim's algorithm comes in. You just start at any town. Then you look at all the possible connections to a town you haven't connected yet. You find the absolute cheapest one and you build it. Now you have a network of two towns, and you just repeat the process. Find the cheapest connection from your current network to any new town and add it. By always making that greedy or locally best choice, you magically end up building the overall cheapest network for everyone. We call that a minimum spanning tree. All right, on to our second big challenge, and this is one you use literally every day, finding not just the cheapest network, but the absolute fastest route from point A to point B. So here's the big question. When you ask your phone for directions, how does it instantly calculate the single fastest route out of billions of possibilities? The answer is this incredible method called Dijkstra's algorithm, and we're about to see exactly how it works its magic. Okay, let's watch this thing in action. We're going to start at our source, S. The cost to get here is obviously 0. Now, to the algorithm, every other destination, U, V, X, and Y, is basically infinitely far away. We don't have a path to them yet. So, from our starting point S, we check out its direct neighbors. We can see getting to U has a cost of 10, and getting to X has a cost of 5. Now, here's the secret sauce. The algorithm always chooses to explore from the node that's currently cheapest to get to from the start. Since 5 is less than 10, X is our next stop. Now we're at X, and we look at its neighbors, and this is where the genius of the algorithm really shines. We see a path to U with a cost of 3. Well, the total cost to get to U through X is our original 5 plus this new 3, which is 8. Hey, that's better than the 10 we had before. So we update it. We also just found a path to Y for a total cost of 7. Okay, time to check our work. What's the closest unexplored node we have right now? Looking at the numbers, it's Y, with that total cost of 7. So we lock that in as the shortest path, and now we explore from there. From Y, we can see a path to V, but the total cost would be 7 plus 6, which is 13. We'll just keep that number in our back pocket for now. Our next closest node is U at a cost of 8. So we move there and check out its neighbor, V. The cost on this edge is just 1. So the total path cost is 8 plus 1, which equals 9. And look at that. 9 is way better than the 13 we found a second ago. So we update the path to V. This is the algorithm literally discovering a shortcut in real time. And finally, the only node left to visit is V at its new shiny cost of 9. We explore from there, but there aren't any other paths or improvements to be found. And just like that, we're done. The algorithm has systematically, and more importantly, correctly, found the absolute shortest path from our start S to every single other point in this network. So let's just zoom out for a second and think about the big picture here. What we've really just seen. This, right here, is the real magic. All of that insane complexity, global shipping logistics, how the internet routes traffic, all of our social connections. It can all be boiled down to this one simple model of dots and lines. By representing the world as a graph, we can use these powerful, proven algorithms to find answers that will be totally impossible to figure out otherwise. And that really leaves us with one last question for you. Now that you know what you're looking for, just think about the world around you. From the way ideas spread to the supply chain that brought you your coffee this morning, what other hidden networks are shaping your life right now?